voice, girls. We had to make lots of room today for guests. If you look around, if you look behind you, you'll see we have lots of guests. Go ahead and wave to them now. Get it out of our system. Okay, now turn around to me, please. And we have our very, very special guests. Our veterans are on this side, so wave to them now, please. Good, we got that out of our system. Okay. Our program today for the adults, welcome to our veterans, especially welcome today, and our honored guests, and our parents, and family, and friends. Our program today is two-part. It's a part here in our auditorium, or our cafeteria, and then we're going to be taking the second portion of our program outside for a very small group of children and for our veterans. There'll be lots of explanation about that for you. Our children today will be doing the explaining about Veterans Day. So without any further ado,
hey, did you bring your markers and paper?
Yes, I have everything we'll need for our pictures and drawings.
What are we going to draw?
Silly, you know we're here to research veterans and the Veterans Holiday on November 11.
How do I draw a veteran?
I don't even know what it is.
A veteran is a who, not a what. You better start by going to the dictionary and looking up the definition of a veteran.
What do you mean a veteran is a who?
Go look it up. We can use the definition in our project.
Is a veteran a person? Go look it up in the dictionary. Here it is. A veteran is a person who has served in the armed forces, an experienced soldier, especially one who has served in time of war. And Veterans Day is a legal holiday in the United States honoring all veterans of the armed forces.
See, a veteran isn't a what, it's a person who died for our country. They're the ones that get flags put on their graves on holidays. No. A veteran isn't always someone who died in a war, or who even fought in a war at all.
He's right. A veteran is a man who has served in the Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, or Air Force.
Well, you're half right.
What do you mean I'm half right?
Well, women can be veterans too. Many women have served our country in the armed forces in times of peace and in times of war.
You mean a veteran doesn't have to have been in a war?
No, just having been in the armed forces makes a person a veteran.
Wow, veterans are really special people, aren't they? I mean, if a person's in armed forces and we have a war, then they have to go, right?
No, not really. Veterans are people who have already served, but are no longer in the armed forces of our country. My great-uncle Chess is a veteran. He was in the Vietnam War. My grandfather was a veteran too because he was in the Air Force.
You know, veterans are really special people, and they deserve to be honored at the holiday.
There are a lot of patriotic songs that honor veterans in our country. Maybe we could include a song with our project.
I think there's a songbook over here that has all the words of patriotic songs.
Great, let's pick one out that everybody can sing along with.
Veterans Day would be a good time to remember and to thank veterans for all they have done for us and for our country.
For over 200 years, the men and women of our armed services have defended the United States and continue to keep watch over our great nation. The debt of gratitude we as a nation owe these brave soldiers cannot be measured. With this song, let us remember those who have fallen and those who continue to serve by standing when your service song is played, and let us all join in the singing of the last measures of America the Beautiful at the conclusion of this American Heroes Tribute. The United States Army.
Over hill, we will hit the
United States Marines. The United States Air Force and the United States Coast Guard. Please join us in the singing of America the Beautiful.
We are fortunate to have so many veterans in our lives. Many of us have family members who have served our country. Some of us have parents who are still in the military.
Did you know we had a neighbor who was a veteran for many years? Mr. Carl was right across the street from East Elementary. Mr. William Thomas Carl Sr. served in the United States Navy from 1947 to 1978. He enlisted in 1947 just after graduating from Reading High School. He served on the USS Johnson, a destroyer. He continued his career at Baybridge Prep School and then went on to the Naval Academy from 1948 to 1952.
He served in times of peace and in times of conflict. He served on the USS Runner, which was a submarine. He was operations officer on the USS Alamo. He served on the El Dorado, the ship that transported the first Marines to Vietnam. After Vietnam, he served in Japan. His career continued in Annapolis, Maryland at the Navy Defense School. From there, he went to Korea and served as executive officer. He was transferred to the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. in 1972. He ended his 31-year career in Philadelphia as the head of the transient department. Today, we would like to honor Mr. Carl's service to our country. The flag flying outside has flown above our state's capital. Senator David G. Arbo is here today. It is my pleasure to introduce him.
It was my pleasure as your senator to provide that flag. And I want to tell you, I've been to a lot of veterans programs over the years, as a Boy Scout leader, as a senator, to your principal, to your teachers. This is one of the coolest I've ever seen, so congratulations. And to the special guests today, the veterans. I had the chance, my son and I bought 2 airplane tickets earlier this year to go with my old college to a place called Normandy in France, which was one of the most dangerous, bloody battlefields ever seen by Americans. And when I asked my favorite professor, who came out of retirement to make the trip with about 30 of us, I said, what made that day so special? And he said, it wasn't the big shots. It wasn't the senators, it wasn't the presidents, it wasn't the governors, it wasn't even the generals or the admirals. It was the guys on the beach showing incredible bravery, jumping into cold water while there were people with machine guns shooting at them. And behind those brave guys were people making sure that the boats were in the right place and the airplanes were in the right place, and maybe they were typing an order back in Pennsylvania. And so to all of these veterans, whether they served in wartime or peacetime, whether they served in all kinds of crazy places all across the planet, or whether they never left Pennsylvania, the most important thing that we can say today to the veterans is thank you for protecting our freedom. We need them every single day to remember that. We really do appreciate their service. Thank you very much.
Following today's program, we will have a brief presentation in front of the flagpole.
We would also like to thank our other veterans. Thank you for serving our country.